Now we can get going.
Sounds good.
All right, what is going on, Alithio Network? It's me, Brendan, here for the final episode of the Alithio Network interview series. Really sad. That being said, I'm really excited to get this one and start my new series, which is going to be starting a week from this Sunday. I believe I'll release it. Probably going to start recording it on Friday, Thursday. Gonna be going forward with Listen for Commands. We're gonna be rebranding it a little bit, but it's gonna be fun. But without further ado, we've got Victor Simanonok in the building.
What's up, everyone? Thanks for having me, Brendan. It's an honor to be the last one in this interview series.
Yeah, so Victor is the only one that we've been interviewing in the series so far that does not have his own like established social thing. So bear with us here. We might just be shooting the shit. That might be a good thing, bad thing. Who knows? But it's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't wait to ask Victor some questions here. We're gonna start with what do you get up to around here? Tell the people what you do for Alithio.
Yeah, of course. So like Brendan said, I'm not really on the social media side, like in terms of podcasting or anything. I'm more on the, business side of Alithio, helping with sales, advertisement, operations, anything business related. That's me working with Tassos to try to help these boys make a little bit of money, so we can all have a little bit of extra fun, going forward.
Hell yeah. All right. I'm going to ask a little bit about Tassos later, but second question here is how'd you get into like business related stuff? You go a little bit about school, like your education, stuff like that.
Yeah. So I went to a very rigorous private high school or K-12 school in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. There, they always gave you extra homework and made you do extra things, always to make it harder, essentially, than college. So when I first got to college, all my classes were super easy. Not a lot of homework in terms of time it would take. But of course, those were gen eds, so shouldn't really be thinking about it like that. But, I started in high school, so, I had my economics teacher, just kind of hint at the fact that maybe this is the thing for me, given the fact that I was always pretty good at math and statistics and, how they would relate and what they mean actually, I guess, if that makes sense, rather than just a random statistic that no one understands.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And now I got the $1 million question for you. This is like, there's no right answer to this, but it's just like, I want to hear what your opinion on this would like. How would you maneuver a successful but business?
That's always a little bit of a tough one, just given the fact that most of what I do is, in school, most of what I did in school was more about a overall market structure as opposed to an individual business, if that makes sense. But I know there's plenty of ways of going about it, like doing things like what we did when you don't have a lot of money starting off. We got stickers. And we just walked around making sure we were careful where we placed them, obviously, to not incur any of Chicago's laws or regulations. But,
I'm going to try and get a little bit more into what you've been doing for us here. Yeah. And, I think the people would love to know what kind of things we've been doing behind the scenes to try and get the podcast more listeners.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Like I said, stickers, we've all been... we all kind of sat down and discussed how and what we would need to do to, increase and improve 1% every day, every podcast, every second you're in this office, regardless. Just always improving and how we can take that one extra step today. And, I think, given that we all know each other, I think it makes it's a double-sided sword. We both all know we can contribute awesomely. It's just with friends, it's harder to hold to a standard, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that actually almost makes me want to jump to one of my other questions. Like,
Yeah, jump.
Because for the people who don't know, Tassos and Victor are pretty close. They're like 1 and 2 on the business side of things. I know you guys, everyone listening to this, probably already knows Tassos because of Good Morning Hockey. But really, on the business spectrum, it's him and Victor who work towards securing like ad revenue, just any ways to make our stuff monetizable. Sorry, that was a big word. But what is your dynamic like? What is your dynamic with Tassos like, and how does it impact like the business side of things?
A lot of the time, especially when it gets later in the day, like when we've been working 8+ hours in the day, it's the dynamic is sometimes becomes too much of a yes man situation, which is
Okay.
like, so either one of us brings up a situation, and rather than sitting down and carefully planning it out right away, we need to immediately jump at each other with what we think needs to be done, and then we're both like, okay,
Yeah, sure.
let's take a second, let's think about what we need to do.
Yeah, because I was touching a little bit more about this with like, I don't know if I went super into it with Raven, but I definitely went into it with Oliver, where I kind of had this thing because working with people who aren't like super close with you, it's like it has its drawbacks and it has its like pros, has its pros and cons. But like I felt obligated to ask Oliver what it's like, working with somebody who he's so close with, that being Raven, and it was all good things. So I wanted to ask you what it's like, being it's such an integral role in this company, and Tassos trusting you with like all that he does.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's tough but necessary. Like there's always gonna be, like I said before, there's different routes to how to maneuver a business successfully.
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily mean one is right and one is wrong. It just means you're at a difference of opinions and you need to talk it out.
Yeah, exactly. And assuming that it's just you two, I'm like, it's easy to assume that you guys come to like a lot of disagreements. So it's like, how does being like that close with somebody impact like how that conversation plays out?
It's sometimes, especially if we're dying on our own hills, so to speak, metaphorically.
Yeah, exactly.
It is hard not to take the zeal and emphasis at which we go at each other personally, but at the end of the day, we always, it's like, this is business. We're still family,
Yeah, I mean, like, being as you guys are close, do you think that you dial it back a little bit more when you're like going at him about something that you want it like to be done? Like, if we're assuming like Tassos was somebody who you like barely knew on a like skit, like you've never fucking kicked it with him, gone to a bar or whatever, like he's just an acquaintance and coworker.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you think you would go at him more or less if he was just like a coworker?
That's a big thing I always struggle with. I'm a people pleaser. I'm great with people, but I'm also a people pleaser, and sometimes tend to
feel like you cave in.
Yeah, or not say, or I have to not necessarily embellish, but rephrase what I'm trying to say, because I know it'll be a big point of contention if I don't say it properly. You
gotta have some sensitivity for sure.
Yeah, me and him, we're always kind of schizophrenic with it. We jump back and forth about a lot of things, you know. So we're always needing to, at least I do. I constantly make sure we're on the same page. I double check if, times I need to come in, times we're doing things.
And I feel like, from my perspective, in my opinion, I think that that's kind of a necessary head you have to have in the business industry. That person who's like a moderator who can, calm everyone down, because we've had this conversation many times that like, everyone involved. I mean, you guys all know, just everybody in Alithio, everyone that I've interviewed. Well, I could say that now that Victor's the last person. Like, we all have different ways of being motivated and working on our own time. So it's like Tassos has to talk to people differently. He has to do different things to get points across to each of us. So it's like,
Yeah.
you have to take that kind of thing into account when you're talking to someone, whether you want to, like, you know, rile up the intensity, like get crazy on them, like, you know, just like motivate them by like, some people are better motivated by like
competition,
and some people are better motivated by just like being left alone to, you know, do their own thing.
Yeah. You know, because, you know, it's just that last one is a little bit of a dangerous game because you're letting the end goal be somewhat left like ambiguous, you know? So you're not really like, I don't know how to say that. Does that make sense though?
No,
you know,
no,
it's like you're leaving it up to the person, and the person at any point can be like, okay, I feel like I've done enough.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether that's true or not.
I mean, that's why you always gotta have a boss to, like, you know, keep everything under wraps. But it's just really something that people struggle with, and understandably so, that they can't, you know, treat everyone the same because not everyone works the same.
Yeah. Well, and they also don't realize you can have more than one relationship with a person.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's not only business or only personal.
Yeah.
You know, those can be different or they can be the same. You know, it's just up to you.
Yeah,
and you just need to realize what situation dictates which, I guess.
Of course. And more over on the business side, because I want to keep us on that. Just for a little bit longer, not too long.
No worries.
But just because, you know, Sully's been doing his thing on the business side, I'm sure people got to know. But
thank you, I appreciate that.
But last one. What are your best marketing and advertising strategies to get the podcast listeners? Because he mentioned just a second ago stickers and whatnot, but what do you think is the best of the best?
I think that that question is all really dependent on how much you can put into it. You know, like us, where we were already basically at zero before that, and we still needed to, you know, get some kind of following. We decided on, you know, stickers that we could just, you know, put up in public places and give to our friends.
Which works surprisingly well. I'm sorry to like
better than I thought it would. To be honest.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but like I feel like the viewers should even know this, because we did like put up stickers around, and it seems like such a silly idea. It's like, from the ground up, a podcast just like putting up random stickers around with like a QR code that people would check out. It's like, no one's gonna check. But it actually did. Like, I don't know.
I don't remember the numbers, but it increased significantly.
Tassos made a big point of it on his shows, and I think Raven and Oliver probably mentioned it too. I think even I mentioned it, that we had all of our shows chart.
In the top 5?
Yeah, we were all top 5 in our respective categories, and it just like, I feel like the only thing we could have attributed that you know, success to was at the time these stickers. So we think it worked. Yeah,
somewhat. It is working because, you know, I want to, you know, all business never stops. You know, regardless of how big you get. I mean, yes, granted, you can get to a point where you're like, okay, let's, you know, we're good with how big we are. But my point being is that, especially in the podcasting and the social media marketplace, in that terms that our company is in, I think that the work never stops. You know, there's always, like I said earlier, you can always get 1% better, and that's what we try to do every podcast, every day, every time someone steps into this office that you guys have now seen significant amounts of.
Yeah.
You know, it's always 1% better. That's all, you know, 1% better, not just for us, but, you know, so you guys can enjoy it 1% better.
Yeah. A lot of the planning that's been going on over the past, I think it's like around 7 months that I've been here. It's like a lot of long-term emphasis. Like, we place a lot of emphasis on what's going to enact itself in the coming months, and we try to get everything down down packed on paper, everything, just so we know what to expect, what we know, what we can monetize, stuff like that. It's just really big to be able to plan out long-term stuff as opposed to like day-to-day, because going day-to-day is really not only not sustainable in terms of like when you have the people here, but it's also like harder to monetize content like that, you know? But speaking of monetizable content, kind of, like I want to ask you about the NHL, because I know out of the people I've interviewed, I think you have the most knowledge about hockey besides Tassos.
Yeah.
So I want you to describe your knowledge of the NHL and rate it on a scale of 10, 1 to 10.
I would say, well, first of all, did you ask this question to Tassos?
No, I wouldn't ask it to
fair
Tassos,
enough,
because
fair
obviously
enough. I just wanted to not be above him, because I would say I'm probably half of what he is.
No,
so I was gonna say 5.
Yeah, he's on 10.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like you're the only person I would ask this question, or I have asked this question, because I know that in a sense, given that Tassos has our most popular program on the network, we're all kind of fraud, especially me and Raven, because we produce the show, and we don't know shit about hockey. So like, that's why I want to ask you this question.
Yeah, I mean, like I said I probably give myself a 5 out of 10, just because I know the rules. I enjoy watching games, especially in the playoffs, or if it's a team that I like. But
what is that team that you like? You don't have one?
I mean, I'm being from Milwaukee, I grew up, and my brothers were both into hockey, and I was in a hockey school and in a hockey family. My family tended to go to Blackhawks games, so we were big Blackhawks fans.
Okay, so you got to be excited about Hawks Hour coming on the program.
Yeah,
quick,
no, I am.
Quick mid-podcast shout out to those guys.
Hell yeah.
First episode coming out on Sunday.
Hell yeah.
So, a little excitement there.
Yeah. We're ready for you. We're ready for it,
Yeah, Victor's ready.
Even though I'm not in it at all. So I'm sorry, what was the...
No, we're just talking about your hockey knowledge.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
If you got a backstory or anything.
I mean, so my older brother was probably the most dedicated of us three to play hockey. But he just wasn't good enough. My high school was pretty well known for hockey.
Actually, so was mine. Like, I had a school that had no good sports. No offense to everyone there. I think soccer was all right, but like men's hockey was really the only program.
Those are literally the exact same two that were amazing at mine. The 4 years I was in, they both won their state tournaments at the exact same years.
Yeah, no, they won a state for me too, but fun fact, this is like kind of off topic, but the entire time that I attended my high school, we won a total of 0 home games.
Oh my God.
That's 4 years. 4 years they didn't win once. So football was not something that we watched.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So it's just hockey.
Yeah. But, no, I mean, I didn't watch the football, and I played, but not important in this. Yeah.
Well, it's a little important. This is like, I'm going to get to the lightning round with Victor later, but we're going to get to know a little bit more about you later. I get it. We were asking a little hockey here.
Yeah. So my brother, loved the game so much, he always purchased all the EA hockey, EA Sports Hockey, or I forgot the name.
Chell.
Yeah, and thank you.
Yeah, no, we were playing Chell at your house one time. That's kind of why I wanted to bring up.
I've cut back a little bit, but just because I haven't really liked the most recent years of their games.
Yeah, it's probably still better than Madden, which is what I play. They fucking cannot put out a good game for Madden.
Is that EA too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're really infamously bad. Actually,
they're making it worse. Did you hear that? That
which
they're
one?
adding ads and
oh my God.
I think for right now I've only seen it in EAFC, like the second new so they split with FIFA because they couldn't find an agreement on how much money they were going to pay each other.
Yeah, my understanding of the thing, I don't know if I'm going to be right in saying this, but I think the only good EA games are actually NHL, and I think another good one is a UFC one that they do.
Oh,
but,
yeah, I didn't realize they did that one too. Okay.
Yeah, no, aside from those, it's nothing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like Madden is really bad. That's coming from somebody who plays a lot of Madden, so hopefully nobody's offended by that. It's just the truth. And 2K is potentially even worse. Which
Yeah, oh my God, they just copied and pasted for like 12 years. And
yeah, that's
just
what they do with Madden.
didn't
too.
fix bugs, and that's what they do with all their games. And now
Yeah.
it's like, so I used to play a lot of Ultimate Team and like pro clubs online with my buddies in FIFA. And now they're getting rid of that too. And it's just like a huge, it was like a big staple of what we would play growing up.
Yeah,
you
man.
know?
I mean, like, I can't even lie. I kind of had a blind spot to FIFA. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But, I haven't exactly heard raving reviews about FIFA either.
No, not in recent years.
Maybe-
it was definitely better
Yeah.
in like 2014 to...
Hopefully I'm not
16?
gonna get hit with the burner because of leaving this game out of like the good conversation. I think that it's probably horrible because EA makes it.
Yeah, and they're just, they're bottom lining everything, making, they're going more for money as opposed to customer experience, which I think is not the brightest move.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that this is a perfect segue to hit the lightning round because the first question on the lightning round, we could just like fire them off to begin, and then this is what I did with Raven, and then at the end we could have discussions about it. So keep it quick, but I promise we'll talk about it.
Sounds good.
All right, first favorite EA game. This is why it's perfect segue.
Shit. I'm gonna say, like ever or this year.
Ever.
I'm gonna say probably the FIFA.
Okay. All right. I like that.
I guess I like 2K and FIFA. I'll give them the same up until recently.
Okay. Cool. Top 3 beers. I might answer this one myself.
New Glarus Spotted Cow.
Oh, okay.
Only available in Wisconsin.
That's a Wisconsin ass answer.
Oh, so good. Yeah, it's so easy to put down, bro.
Right. We are both 21, by the way, just in case people want to demonetize this.
Then I would say probably Miller High Life in a bottle.
Okay.
The champagne of beers, baby.
All right.
Oh, so good.
That is true.
And then, actually, you know what? Are we going 3-1? Because I would tie those both at 1.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we could do that.
And then I would go at 3, Leinenkugel Summer Shandy.
Oh, I wouldn't even know that one. I might have to like look it up while we're doing your next
great.
answer.
Hell yeah.
But Chicago or Wisconsin?
Oh, damn. I think overall, Chicago. But I think there's plenty I like better about Wisconsin. Cheaper everything, cheaper taxes on everything.
Yeah, that's obviously
a big one, actually.
It's a huge deal.
I don't know. It's just more like it's less of that stereotyped big city hatred towards one another, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's more about a tight knit community and helping each other out, and less about doing the best you can. I don't know if that last part makes sense, but
no, it does. Here, let me put for the fans out there. We got this is the beer that Sully's talking about, I believe.
Yeah.
You wanna fact check this? The red lager. Oh wait.
no, it's called Summer Shandy.
Oh hell. Okay.
It's it's like a I don't really know even how to explain it. It's like it's not lemonade mixed with beer, but like it's a lemonade-y flavor. It's
funny
like
funny story.
citrusy.
I think my only connection with this beer is like I think somebody left one out like at work, and we don't sell like I used to work at Slice. I've brought this up like a million times on this series, but like I saw one and we don't sell them. So like I didn't know what the hell to do with it. It was unopened. And I was like, I really want to drink this. And I don't know, I just didn't because I was on the clock. But, you know, if I did it, I probably wouldn't have admitted it on this program.
Just go to the bathroom, kill it,
yeah.
put it in the corner.
Yeah, so I'll never know if it's any good. But
no, it's pretty good. I'll bring some.
It's got a Sully seal of approval. So
all three of them. Specifically, the two tied at 1.
And I just realized I asked you Chicago or Wisconsin. I should have said Illinois. I should have said Illinois.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because those are the two,
But I love all my buddies here. I love the family that I've built, or my second family, I guess, that I've built here in Chicago.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, I think I asked the same thing to Raven. I asked him.
Yeah.
I asked him Georgia or Illinois, and he gave it to Illinois. Surprisingly.
Okay. I did too. I said Chicago, but
yeah, no,
Illinois,
because I fucked up the phrasing. That's my fault.
But yeah, I guess I also like the fact that you can be a little bit more autonomous with your phone.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of gambling.
I feel bad because
betting.
I totally lied, and we've been going in depth with all these answers, and I told you we were supposed to like.
I'm so sorry.
I know. I totally lied.
Blanked on that
but,
too.
But best betting app. What do we think?
I'm a go-to FanDuel.
Oh, okay. FanDuel. Okay.
I think, especially if you're a new customer, they have great deals on matching what you put in.
Oh, yeah.
So like the first time I did it was like, whatever, a week after it got legalized.
Yeah, I got like a cool $100 out of the deposits.
I put in like 25 and I got like 100.
Yeah, it was like a free 100. It's like one of the few times I'll ever win a bet and actually make money off of it.
Yeah.
So
and then I put a lot of it on March Madness that year and won a big amount on, I think it was St. John's, I think was when they upset was it Villanova?
I think you told us about that.
Yeah, I turned like a $2.50 bet into like $400.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
All right. And then best Chicago restaurant. Honestly, I'm just asking this because I want a new one. You dropped 312. Shout out Zach.
Shout out Zach.
Well, that's like a hotel, but whatever.
Let me think. Where did I go? Actually, you know what? It's nearby. I think, what is that? The Sheridan stop. It's a little like small kind of cafe.
Oh,
right on the water.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that I'm trying to.
Oh, it's so great. It's actually, I think it's called the Waterfront Cafe.
Oh, okay. I feel like I've heard of that one actually.
It's so good. You can enjoy a beer while watching I guess you'd have to watch the sunrise because it's
a cafe.
East, but and the lake and the water is to the east, so you'd have to but you get a great view of the water. Great food, great beer.
Okay, I'm sure we have a lot of Chicago listeners on this one, so. This one's for you.
Yeah, it's somewhat nearby Loyola, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, I'll take any excuse to go out there. That's like Sully just got a place out there. So that's got to be close to you guys.
We could meet there and then literally just come back to mine. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, perfect. But we got last but not least, at least for the lightning round. Fun fact about Sully that nobody knows.
So if you've noticed Brendan jumping between Sully and Victor, it's because
I kind of forgot to clarify that.
No worries. I'll clarify right now. So my real name is Victor, but everyone here and since junior year in high school has mostly been referring to me as Sully because 3 years before junior year, so when I was in 8th grade, I was playing on the 8th grade basketball team or whatever, and the head coach. We're doing, conditioning at the end where, the coach calls someone, you take a free throw. If you miss, everyone runs down and back. If you make it, the next person shoots. Sure. And he goes, Sully, you're up. And everyone's like, who the heck is that?
Who is Sully?
And then he bounce passes me the ball, and we're all like, thinking, all the players are thinking to each other like, since when have you been Sully?
All right. One thing I just noticed that you're doing it's significantly better job not swearing than I am, because I think I've dropped a few F-bombs already.
No, I'm just intentionally trying not to.
That's my fault. But another thing that's interesting, I've been playing Uncharted recently, and I just realized that there's like, anyone who knows this knows, but there's one of the main characters' name is Victor, and he goes by Sully.
Yeah.
So think of if you play Uncharted, think of his situation just like that.
Or you can think about it as I've gotten kicked out of movie theaters because I've gone with my buddies to watch the movie about Sully Sullenberger who lands the plane in the Hudson. You know, and when it when he gets acquitted. You know, all my buddies jumped up and were like, "Oh, Sully!" And we just got kicked out right away. And
bad time to have that nickname.
Yeah. And the people next to us are like talking a little bit of crap to my buddy, and he's like, shut the fuck up. He's like, yeah, no problem, you're welcome, making more of a scene.
God damn it.
And it's just like, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry I have to stray away from the fun stuff again, but we'll get back a little bit to the business. I wanted to ask this: what do you imagine yourself doing in 5 years? It could pertain to this or it could not. Just Victor.
I don't know. I don't really want to put a timeline on a job, if that makes any sense.
No, I get it.
But in 5 years, I'd like to be well off enough, whether that's monetarily wise or relationship wise, that I'm happy enough that I'm, don't need to even make that a big priority. You know, I don't even I hate thinking about money. I hate it. It makes me so angry, and it takes years off my life because of stress.
I honestly feel the same way. And I feel like in all of these podcasts, these interviews that I've done in the series, I've ended up talking about some real-ish, but honestly, I feel the same exact way. I've really hated the whole concept of money my whole life. I just I don't know. A lot of people's goals is they make success synonymous with being super rich and having a lot of money. But really, I'm a super simple guy.
Yeah.
I eat a bunch of my food plain. I don't really need shit, really. I don't spend that much money.
And I would consider myself as better off even if I wasn't rich, as long as I could, support the people who need it or who I want to support, like my family, my friends occasionally if they need it, because, stuff always comes up.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong, more money is always better, but I think that I could be infinitely happy as long as I just have what I need, and then as long as I feel productive in my life, as long as I feel like I'm working hard and I could retire one day and feel like I did what I needed to do in my professional life. I contributed to society like I needed to. I don't know. I don't want to be a person who derives all of their perceived success from how much money I made.
Their status, their worth in society is not based on how many figures you bring home.
Yeah, if I was trying to do that, I would probably be back in school being a doctor right now. It's pretty obvious I think that way, I feel because I'm doing sound editing right now. It's it's not like I'm going to break the bank like that, but I'm just doing something that makes me feel productive and that I could derive productivity from, or the sense of productivity from. It's why I understand, I was just talking to my parents about this earlier. I completely understand the perspective of people who work blue collar, because it's the most straightforward way of working hard and getting money for it. It's you work hard, you get money, boom, that's the end of it. But it's sometimes you just sit in a cubicle and don't do shit and then you get paid for it. It's you get money, but you don't get real satisfaction. Real satisfaction.
You don't have there's no there's no value in the output you have since made. There's no you have no drive to make it your own to make it 1% better, like I've been talking about sometimes this entire podcast,
Yeah. Not trying to say that I didn't actually love that answer that you gave, but I'm going to throw a little additive onto it.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see yourself living in 5 years? Like, would you still be here, do you think?
Tassos and I have talked about this. If we're at a point where, we can, physically let full podcasts.
Oh, would you be down to go to Buffalo? Is that where you're going?
No, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed.
'Cause that's what
I'm
he
just
said.
saying, I would rather, I'd probably spend a significant amount of my time. If I could work remote, I would spend it traveling.
Oh yeah, man, dude! Every single person I've had on the interview series has been a traveling person.
Oh my god,
except
it's
for me.
great.
I mean, like I love traveling, but I'm just like, I'm just bad with planes. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
no,
lie,
I get
like
ya.
fucking, I can't do flying. I'm sorry.
Is it like motion sickness? Or
It's
what?
like just like the anxiety of
Okay.
being like trapped on
in
a
a
plane.
box,
It's
basically.
like, yeah, I don't know. The best way I could explain it is like, I don't know. I just have like a whole thing where it's like I feel like I'm not in control of anything, and it's like if I were on like hypothetically a bus or in a car with one of my friends, it's like I could tell them like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm getting sick right now. Like, can we pull over? You can't do that on a plane. So it's like, and like it just feels like your life is in the hands of some other person, and that's just all irrational. But that's like what
I get you.
what
Yeah, no,
being anxious is.
I've I used to have a big problem with motion sickness.
Oh, yeah,
in
that's another
cars, in
thing.
planes, everything.
Oh man, a boat would be horrible.
It's terrible. Trust me, it's terrible.
But let me tell you, it's totally worth it to go traveling. It's like I could easily tough it out just to like have a lifetime experience. Like I just did it. Like I had a really tough time flying to Portugal, but I went to Portugal and it was, oh man, it was so fucking cool. But it's just like I can't be a traveling person who does it like super, super often.
Yeah,
I could do it like
no, I
once
get ya.
once a year, but
Yeah.
if I did it more than that, it'd just take a lot out of me.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, I just feel like I would, being that I just studied abroad in Budapest in Hungary.
Oh yeah,
I would love, that was a amazing city, dirt cheap.
Yeah, no, I feel stupid for not throwing something on the questionnaire here, but Sully just studied abroad at Budapest, so I'm gonna let you talk about that right now if you don't
It was
mind.
fantastic. It was probably one of the best experiences of my life, and I am somewhat pissed at the fact that COVID kind of screwed that up for me.
Oh, okay.
So I was gonna go my freshman year.
Oh, I didn't even know this.
Yeah, so I went in my senior year, but I was gonna go in my junior year in the spring. I had submitted all the applications, everything.
Yeah,
COVID,
dude.
everything's online,
Yeah, I mean, like I had
and
that
it was
experience.
like I'm not gonna be paying all this money.
Yeah,
I'd rather just pay the. I'm paying the same anyways, plus plane tickets to go. But I'd rather just pay the same and do it here. But it was a great experience. I got to travel a lot. I went to Czechia, Slovenia, Slovenia, Turkey,
Okay.
Barcelona, and I went and got to see my mom's parents for a couple days also. So that
dope.
was really nice. I went from on my 1 week break. I went with my mom to see her family. Then I took a 8-hour bus from Hamburg to Prague.
Okay.
Met a buddy there. We went then from Prague to Belgrade, Serbia, which
Okay.
was sick.
Damn, where didn't you go in Europe at this point?
Yeah, no, I went to a lot of the Eastern, the old Soviet bloc because it was considerably cheaper. They're not in a late stage capitalist kind of vibe as the West is.
All right.
Yeah, not to get political, but it's cheaper. It's considerably, significantly cheaper.
Yeah, no, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun stuff. What do you think is like the biggest differentiation between culture there and America? Or one of them?
I mean, there specifically in Budapest, and I would say in all of formerly Soviet bloc countries, there's this big, dread of having to experience what Soviet control was like. So every person is like drinking and smoking, and it's not really a choice. It's a way to help not only take that off, but deal with their everyday
Yes,
BS.
it's just a little depressing then.
Yeah, no, it's really depressing.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, like, if we're getting...
just compared to what the U.S. is and what, London or Western Europe, what you would think or you see looks like. Eastern Europe is all...
depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. I mean, like, all that I really know, because I had a professor who spent a lot of time in, like, we're talking like Russia, right? Because you're talking like the bloc.
Yeah, but like, so they, after World War II, they took up everything, they everything that was the Berlin Wall split, like everything to the between Russia and that became Soviet territory.
Yeah.
So that's, now whatever 19 countries ish, your 10 countries that have all been Yeah,
and that's not exactly a great influence.
No.
Sorry, I hope they don't come for me across the seas and castrate me. But like, I don't know. Like, all I know about like the economy in Russia is that everything is like, all the transactions are made through like the black market, and it's so like normalized that it's just like something that we couldn't even fathom in America.
Yeah.
It's just so corrupt that like corruption is just normalized over there. So could be a lot worse over here is what I'm saying, I guess. But Russia aside, what would you be doing if you weren't here right now? Like here as in, working with Tassos.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably still be, working. So you guys don't know, I have a second job that helps put some money on the table, pay rent. It's at a sales company downtown. I probably shouldn't give the name or anything, just for, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Just because I haven't been okay to do that or anything. But, I help with some, like, back office cleanup and, like, updating better contact info and, like, giving leads and giving good information to our sales reps. And then I also do some,
schoolwork,
market research. I'm sorry, I'm still talking about the job.
Oh, no, my bad. That's my bad.
Do some like entire market research for like possible future investors, for the executives of the company, that kind of stuff.
Sure. Yeah. So you're just saying that you would probably like pursue like a full-time job as opposed to like...
Yeah, probably, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I've heard good things because the business Victor works for you guys, which I'm not going to say some of you because none of you guys know this, but he's a buddy of Tassos's. So
I'm a buddy of all of you guys.
No, not you, Caleb, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his boss is a buddy of Tassos.
He was a fraternity member who my big knew really well, and he my big then proceeded to hype me up to him and give me the job.
What I've heard is that it's a great opportunity.
Yeah,
so it wouldn't exactly be shit life to pursue. I mean, outside of what we got going on here. So what do you imagine for like Alithio? And it doesn't have to be like over a time frame. Like, I don't know, because we've got a lot of stuff going on. I feel like it's a relevant question to ask.
Yeah, no, I get you. I would like to see it at a point where, us four and even possibly these new guys we're bringing in, can successfully work on a schedule that works from you, and you don't have to be necessarily in this office.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I would
a big
like
thing,
to have it, so that we can employ a few more people to make sure those who are in the office are getting their stuff done. So, us four don't have to, or make sure everyone is on top.
Yeah, micromanage everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Micromanage. That's a better word. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So that the main goal is just expansion. I guess of what I'm deriving out of that.
You know, so we can make this a more somewhat of a not past, but passive income for all of us, you know, and we can all go and either travel or get another possible job doing something better while we're still,
I mean, you know, that's always the goal.
Or you know, like if you get a better job because of this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's always the vision that we've expressed. It's not like the end time goal. Like I already asked like a similar question like this with Tassos. Obviously, I mean, like I feel like a lot of the questions that I've been asking kind of pertain to like what I asked Tassos, because you guys are both on like the business side of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tassos said something similar. He had unveiled that he actually doesn't plan on like being like a super podcaster, or like that's not his end goal, which some people might not know, because he's more like on the business side of things, and he really does his show primarily for us to help further what we want to do, which is, you know, a selfless act in itself. It's not that he doesn't care about his show or that he doesn't like doing it. It's just like it's more of a platform that he wants like someone else who he feels is a better personality and just more well equipped to be able to take over at some point. Like that's kind of the long-term goal of things from what I've derived from you guys talking about it, I'd say.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're not. You know, and we've always talked about how, you know, we would never be like those guys who would, you know, try to hold it against someone if they got a better opportunity because of this.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
we'd be like, okay, that means we're doing something right. You know, we're like a developmental, you know, not necessarily that's the end goal, but you know, at the short, you know,
and I guess that's just like in a lot of instances the natural progression of things. It's like people don't necessarily have to like be better than like too good for Alithio or whatever. It's like just sometimes people outgrow and they need to pursue another opportunity, and it's like, you know, people file in, they file out, but you know, the real ones will stay put and, you know, help facilitate the betterment of the company. But I mean, we're already at 47 minutes in terms of time, and if I don't say so myself, Victor here has been doing a bang up job, and gonna be honest, Tassos kind of undersold this guy here.
Yeah, because I also undersold myself.
He was like, yeah, Victor's gonna have such a hard time podcasting. But being as that is the case, and you did so good here, would you ever do your own show or hop on one with one of us?
Yeah, I don't see why not. You know, I'm just more of a, you know, like I guess I am somewhat of a creative, I guess, if that makes sense. But
I'd agree.
I'm more of a, you know, I'm the bounce off ideas and enhance them as opposed to the create the ideas that need to be bounced.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel a similar way. I mean, my main thing that I got here for was to do sound editing and post, and I feel like that's what I'm best at. But you know, here I am doing like this interview series, and you know, I've had a lot of fun with it. So it's like sometimes you could find new ways to further the betterment of. Sorry, there's like a bug by the mic, but like there's like, you know, new ways you could find to get yourself involved and want to further like take this company over the hump and try and get it to as far of a point as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
You could derive new ways of feeling productive and enjoying something. So it's like, I've been having a lot of fun with like this podcast thing, and I think that it's pretty easy to do so. It's like there's a lot worse jobs you could have. And, you know, being able to do this is quite the blessing. I've had a lot of fun with it, but I guess that leads me to my final question, which is, what should I do? Well, I guess we kind of already established what I'm doing, but like, do you have any advice for the show that I'm going to be doing in a week from next week?
Not really. You know, I'm not a big, I mean, I can't give you, you know, advices on the advice on the, subject very well, just because, I don't fucking
powerlifting. Yeah.
But I think, just always, this is rather generic, but like I've been saying this whole time, just always, get that one step and at least try for that 1% better. You know?
I think my thing is going to be, my main challenge is going to be like networking. So my plan is to begin going to this new gym. It's called MPG Fitness. I just talked to the owner the other day. It's a super, super nice gym, and there's a lot of people who have like-minded interests with powerlifting, and a lot of people that are pretty well known and want to do something similar to this. So I mean, like, if I can make some friends in that gym, I feel like I can get a lot of cool people on, and we could talk about stuff. It's just like the only unsurety about it is like whether or not I want to make it like an interview kind of format, whether or not I want to be like a big personality or just sound guy. I think I could do both, but I don't know. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, I totally agree. I mean, I think you should be more than just a sound guy.
Okay.
Sure. I think, not only have these questions been great, they've, gotten me so ready and into this.
Okay.
So I think you're asking the right questions, and that kind of stuff. But I don't know if, like you said, if you can have, only interviewing.
Okay.
Especially in a powerlifting.
Yeah, no, I hear you. There's
like
discussions.
definitely, you can bring on guests and interview them, but I don't know if that should be
my only form of content. Yeah, no, I hear that. I like that. That's like the first piece of advice that I've gotten when I asked this question that's actually like decently specific. And I agree. I think that there's a lot of opportunity when it comes to like the powerlifting spectrum that I wouldn't expect you to, know about. Yeah. But there's like a lot of things that require my skill set. I don't know. I feel like an asshole saying that, but like
your abilities.
Yeah. Just such as like live meets, recaps, stuff like that. There's a lot of leverage and leeway in that field. So it's like the main reason I'm super excited about doing a powerlifting thing is because it just feels like it's wide open for the taking. The market is like we dropped 2 shows and we charted.
I think you dropped the first one and charted.
Yeah,
not as significantly high.
Yeah, no, we did chart. You're right.
And then you dropped the second, and then you jumped again.
It's just asking for somebody who's willing to, who has the like setup and stuff that we do to just take it over. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like I would be kind of stupid to not at least take a stab at the opportunities.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah. I agree. You would be dumb if you didn't at least try.
Yeah, it would fit pretty well with like what we've got going on here. I mean, that was always my initial thought with like the idea of Listen for Commands. It's like niche sport, not that much competition, just ready to be taken, like the reins to be taken, I guess, metaphorically, so to speak. But yeah, no, I think that's pretty much it for me and Sully here. I was really happy to interview him. This went
so much better than I thought.
So swimmingly, dude. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm excited to put this out already.
Yeah,
I mean,
me
like,
too.
we haven't even finished recording, and I'm here just like I'm itching to put this out. But yeah, that's gonna conclude our interview series. I hope that you guys really enjoyed it because I loved sitting here and doing this with like all my friends that I got to get in here. But yeah, hope you guys stay tuned. Look out for Good Morning Hockey. We've got the few last episodes coming out for that. So they're going to be, we're going to have some good ones pumping out. Toss us got some good guests. And then we've got On the Gravel. It's going to be running smooth, or usual over the summer. So that's not going anywhere. And then hopefully
Hawks Hour.
Yeah, Hawks Hour.
I guess we've got the one, and then
the hiatus over the summer. Yeah, but 2 weeks. We're gonna have my first show on here. Listen to Commands. It's gonna be the same name, but new cover, I think. But yeah, it's gonna be the re-up of Listen for Commands, and I'm really excited to get that done. Put out my first episode, and work from there. So yeah. really excited, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into all of these. Feel free to listen to all the other ones if you haven't listened to those yet, because this is the final one. But yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Brendan. See you guys next week.